What is up, guys? Welcome back here to another Call of Dragons content, another collaboration with another content creator here within the game. So today we have Mr. Sneaky, who is going to be giving us his tier list for the Call of Dragons game, and as well as I will have tier lists as well. And then eventually we are going to have a good discussion about our differences, because within the game, as you guys know, everybody have different playing style, different strategies, and different approaches. So, Mr. Sneaky, it's really nice to once again see you in the channel and collaborating with the Shinji 42 channel. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure like always. I can't wait to get into today's video and see where our different opinions go into different paths. So it's gonna be an exciting episode, I think.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a very nice episode to where we can teach players, and players can definitely see, hey, there's two content creators out there. They have, similar yet different views between the game, and it's primarily also can be due to the playing style of each, roles that you guys do, and also experience within the servers as well. All right. So the main goal of this is we're going to be looking into legendary heroes within Call of Dragons. So we did our job already on ranking these heroes. So this is currently my tier list. As you can see, we have put, for my selection in here, I have put Emery's as S+, and I have put Kinara and Veline, and then Madeline. So to me, these are the ultimate best that can also be utilized in the late stages of the game. Now, with the S, you can see Bakshi, Lilia, Syndrion, Nika, Thea, Nico, and then Freygar. Now, these aren't necessarily bad in my opinion, but they have certain conditions that doesn't make them an S+ tier. Now, of course, we're going to move down to A. We have Garwood. Garwood, to me, is more of just a tank. And then B, you have Hosk. To me, Hosk is something that you just waste your money on. If you're a whale, you can get it, but it's not really better than any of the S or the S+ tier heroes. If you can avoid it as much as possible, I think it's okay. But if you're going to be buying it, you are going to get those treaties. And then, of course, onto the D rank. And here we got our Gatherer, which also provides some healing. So for the free-to-play, it could be useful, but in a bigger play of the game, late stages, I don't think it's going to be that great. Let me kind of indicate something in here as well. Before our video started, Mr. Sneaky and I had a bit of a conversation about Lilia. This is a hero that will be achieved through purchase. So many free-to-play might not be even including Lilia into their rankings. So since my gameplay is different, I am not free to play. I spend money into the game. My Lilia is one of my best heroes within the game that I use to pair up with Veline. So when you look into my list in here, you can definitely see the longevity of what the heroes that you can invest on, and these are those heroes that you can do 6 stars as well. All right, so this is the tier list for Mr. Sneaky. Mr. Sneaky, please give us your insight on how you have ranked these heroes.
Yeah, so you can see mine's pretty similar to yours. I'm a little bit more ruthless, I think, in the A category, to do with more about spending, like you said. So as a free-to-play player, you're not going to get access to Lilia. So that's kind of why I've got her in that A tier, plus another reason I think we will have a little bit more discussion on her later. But yeah, we've got it in a nice similar boat where in the top S+ rankings, you've got that Madeline, Freygar, and Kinara. I think you had Freygar as an S, so it's. I always think it's funny to see the difference in opinions on PvP, especially when it comes to the different top tier heroes. We've got very similar S ranks heroes, and I just want to say as well, the rankings between A and S is so close for me. Like, they are so close. It's literally, I'm trying to make it so there was at least one difference why like S is better than A, or S+ was better than S, and it's like the minutest change. But in general, all of those heroes, no matter which one you're going to pick in that A+ category, if it's PvP you're looking for, you're going to be good. So that's the way I've set up my list up. When we go into like the bottom, so we've got B, C, and D. So you got your Hosk, same as you. The Hosk basically it's a whale kind of statement. So if you're a big spender, you're gonna get this. I didn't really consider this a good hero for most players, but for the whales, he's a good stat stick. You know, if you do max him out, if you are that whale, having a maxed out Hosk is kind of terrifying. I got down below Mr. Garwood. Some people might want him a little bit higher, but in my humble opinion on the Groot Boy is you only use him really for merit farming, and a lot of people do use him as well for example, like PvE raiding. But apart from that, you're not really going to be using him. And then and a lot of the times you only need Garwood, even at like 5111 as the secondary, and it's going to fulfill that role for the raids and for merit farming. So you don't need to go crazy. That's why I put him in the C. And I think the same with Indis is just you're going to get her over time. She's not at the moment the hero that I think anyone's going to look at just because she's a supportive hero, but there's no sort of supportive mage to combat with her, right? She's kind of in her own pocket at the moment, so I think that's why she's at the D tier. But maybe she might be good in the future. So that's kind of like how I've got all mine set up at the moment. So I'd like to hear like what your thoughts are on some of my picks compared to yours.
So definitely, as you guys are watching this video, please let us know what you guys think. Give us some, what is this thing called? Critical feedback on, maybe you agree, disagree to what we have. And how would you rank your tier list for Call of Dragons? So what would be your S tier? Maybe that's the easiest way. Comment below what would be your S tier rank within the Call of Dragons. So let's compare the differences between each others in here. Let's talk about the differences on what we have made here. So we can see that we both agree that Madeline is an S tier. Then you have put Freygar in here, which is different than me. I didn't put Freygar there. You put Kinara. I think for me, Kinara is, for me, right now, I was doing a comparison actually in an Excel sheet because somebody was asking which one is better to pair with Nico. What I saw is like Kinara is actually just more, for me, far more superior than Freygar in here. But Freygar being a flying unit does make a huge difference as well because you can fly through obstacles. But what do you think about this? You did put Veline onto S tier, which I think is S plus tier. I love Veline.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because that list there, and when I made my own video, I think some people might have checked out my own video, like you did your own video. During that whole conversation, when I was starting to talk to myself about Valen, I just kind of slapped myself and did put him, like yours, in the S+. I think Valen is unreal. I think he's one of the heroes that for mage players in the longest run is going to be one of them heroes that no matter what you're going to be using. I think every skill 1, 2, 3, and 4, even when you do eventually awakening, but all 4 skills are so relevant for any mage match because any mage wants extra hero skill damage on their skill, right?
Yeah.
And any of them wants the magic crit bonus and the ability just to, whoever you're fighting, just to shred them by 20% magic reduction. It's just kind of ridiculous for like everything you want. So I do agree with what yours is at S+. I did shift mine up for that regards. I do think he is up there for the S+ tier. Yeah.
I see. All right, so now let's look into the S tier in here. We had a bit of a difference. I had Bakshi, Lilia, we got Syndrion, which we both agree for Syndrion, Nika, Dia. I feel like I should have lowered Dia, but for now, I think Dia is so widely used because there's no other flying, pairs right now. And then we got Nico, which is, these hero can be obtained in the gold chest for easy access for free to play. Then we got Freygar. So I noticed that you have ranked Bakshi lower, and you have ranked Lilia lower. And let's see, Nika as well, lower in here. So you are more brutal, but to me, I think, there's not a lot of, the reason why I did mine is because there's not a lot of heroes yet within the game to where you can manipulate, because to me, it's like, you either you have two sets of marches within the game. Rarely, I would say, if you're super whale, then you'll have all the marches available that you can work on. But if you're like, I mean, I'm a mid spender. I have two really good march. It is going to be the mage and then the calves. So you kind of have to, when you put everything down lower for others, I feel like people then will like, oh, then I only need to get these because this is what people have made. But I like your approach is a lot more broad to kind of provides for more of a different role. I think mine is a lot more like into a specific, maybe a bit more of a maybe towards the spender mentality as well. So yeah, let's hear what you have on this feedback in here.
Yeah, so the way I say, like I say, and I just want to reiterate this because we did say it earlier, like anyone in S plus is a phenomenal hero. Like all of them are insanely good at their own right. But me being me, I'm trying to pick this and make it maybe almost future proof to the point where people might understand it. So like the way I put the A tier categories of all these four heroes, it's basically only on either one or two principles. One of them is basically the hero itself. If you look at all of the skills, you generally only get 3 skills to that hero. Meaning, if you look at Lilia or Nico, skill 2, you get the peacekeeping damage. Same with Nika, you get the peacekeeping damage.
Nico engineering.
Yeah, Nico is engineering. Yeah, so we've got basically skill 2 is basically a wasted stat for PvP. But when you look at now any of the S class heroes, every hero in that category has some sort of PvP capabilities, apart from a Syndron. But for Syndron, I just think he's the outlier. I just think he does the most insane damage out of every hero, especially for archers. It just does the most single target DPS you can deal. So that's why he's the kind of the odd exception, because his skill is kind of like a rallying talent. But again, for anyone who's a big spender like yourself, or super whale who has a Syndron maxed out, then they'll understand why he's definitely an S tier hero, right? Compared to other players that might not get that full value out of it. So that's the reason why I've got that A and S tier set up. So generally, like I say, any of the A heroes have got kind of a wasted talent, but doesn't really provide that PvP element. Because if you imagine the future, we're gonna get, as you know, Forendale and Theodore, and as we've already seen with like Kanara and the like Valen and Freyga and Syndron, these heroes generally come with 4 skills that are relevant. And if they keep coming with 4 skills that are relevant, these heroes are going to come less and less relevant. And the A heroes are all gold chest heroes apart from Lilia, so you're going to get them anyway. So I think that's another good reason why I think I have them in the A tier. You're going to get access to them. You're going to awaken them over time, just like your Charles Martel would in Rise of Kingdoms, any of those boys from the old school days, like you're going to get them. So that's why I've kind of been a bit more harsher and put them in the A tier, and why I've got the S and S plus as you can imagine now.
Awesome. All right, so now let's move on to the other ranks in here. So as you can see, for me, I have ranked higher for Garwood, lower on Haas. Now, you're nicer towards the spenders in here. You give them a little bit more compensation of, hey, I bought this pack, and I got this new hero, and it's like, okay, I want to feel good on using it. But honestly, in my opinion, this is just like, when we look into Rise of Kingdoms, this is just like the Hannibal Barca. Pretty much what I can say with this one, though, it's a falling investment if people buy Haas, unless you are trying to get these. For me, I bought the speed ups in the bundles within the game, and I didn't buy the resources because you have 2 packs there. There's let me show it to you guys. When you go into the honor shop in here, so for me, I did make the purchase, but see, I don't buy this one, because this one is going to be resource based. So if you are going to be buying this through a speed up base, you get really good amount of speed ups. You can get it. So if we look into my Haas, I don't really use my Haas. You can see my Haas in here. This guy, level 1, 553. I don't use it. There's like if I'm gonna rally, I've seen a lot of people who use rally with like cabs, and they will rally with Haas secondary, and it's really not that great. Like if you will do a Bakshi and Emery's instead, that would actually be a better combination. Or let's say if you're a marksman, you go with Nico, you go with you can either be going with Fragars, Kinara, use Sindrion. It would be so much better rather than using a Haas. I think, you know, for Wales, yeah, it's good because it's also within the game. You have stamina, right? So you get to use it another March for the game. But I think it's a waste of investment. I think you could rather buy more of the bundle in here through the Heroes of Tamaris instead and max out another hero within the game. But that is our differences in here, though. So that's my point of view. I think Garwood is better. It's easier, accessible for many free-to-play. Can still be used in Battlefield. Like you said, for merit farming, has some utility as well for that one. And then in this, let's just go with that. It's pretty much farming. I've used in this though in the Dragon Trails just to survive for healing. It does have a bit of a purpose. It has a debuff, I think, or buff. I forgot what it is. I think it has a debuff.
The debuff. That's what I was gonna just say. That the thing with Indis, which is really good, is that AoE debuff. So like, I kind of relate it to Minamoto because everyone likes the single target damage taken increase on Minamoto. Well, you've got an AoE one here, which applies it to 2 targets. So for a lot of free-to-play players, even though you're never gonna really use Indis in PvP, for Dragon Trials, like you said, Shinji, you're going to quite happily use it because it does help you in the later stages when you're trying to kill like the T5 and you've only got tier 4 units. So that extra 20% does give you that punching power to get through some of the later stages. So I think that's a really good point to bring up about it.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about your side with the Hosk and Garwood, and then we'll wrap things up.
Yeah, man. The only thing I have kind of a love-hate relationship with both heroes. That's the funny thing. The reason why I like Garwood is he's, like I say, a really good free-to-play player-friendly unit for merit farming. So if you're trying to get merits to get you speed-ups, resources, you name it, you've got the hero there, right? And you've got the Eliana to pair with him. He's always like good to go. The reason I always put, I think, Hosk above him is even if I had like a 5-1-1-1 Hosk, I know I can put that 5-1-1-1 Hosk with any of my marches. But with the Garwood, I can't do that. Yes, not every single player has access to it. That's why I've dropped him down to B.
Wait, I gotta disagree with you. Sorry. I gotta disagree with you. You can use Garwood on anyone too because it's
no, it's not the same, man. The heal, yeah, it's like me just saying to someone, why don't you just whack Richard the First on most heroes and just have the healing on your hero? It's just not good enough. The thing with like Call of Dragons, a lot of people will realize is like stats actually matter. So when you look at Hosk granting you 30% extra HP, 20% extra attack, and like 10% flat all damage dealt. So that's your normal attacks, your skill damage, your counter attack hits. It adds up so much more for any match. So even if you were going to run, like, I'm not saying like you're going to do it all the time, but like if you needed like a filler unit and you wanted to, if you ran Nico Kanara and you maybe ran like Syndron Frega and you wanted another archer, maybe you could run Hosk Guan Win, and it'd be a really popular match just for single target DPS. And people are not going to hit Hosk because they kind of look at the hero and they're like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. Like, it's kind of like a weird phobia people have had on him. But that's the only reason. Like, I think, like I said, both heroes are good in maybe their own right. Maybe I'm a bit more brutal on Garwood, but I don't know. Every time I see a Garwood in the open field, I just feel like that person's feeding more merits than you're gaining value, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was thinking I was just thinking something with the Haas though. I want to ask your opinion. Do you recommend for people to buy Haas or not?
No, I wouldn't say, like I said, I wouldn't say people to like get him. I think mainly like I think medium spenders and like high spenders, they're gonna get him. Like, you know, they're gonna either unlock him at like 5111 just to have him because you want the bundle, right? The pop-up bundle for unlocking the hero. So that's a really good like thing for a spender, even like a medium and a low spender. But then the only other way you're going to get the maximum out of him is maxing him out. Because when you max him out, you get that crit bonus, you get the counter attack damage crit bonus, which is kind of filthy when you see it on a Madeline match in the open field. So there's like, when you're a whale, it's weird. Husk is like either 5111 or Awaken. There's no in between, I feel like, with this hero. So that's why I kind of have him like B. He's like good, but he's not something you want to purely invest into. And the same reason for Garwood is like he's good, but you don't really want to invest into him. You're naturally going to get a 5-1 Garwood really, really quickly. So that's why I kind of lowered him down.
And Garwood does come out a lot on Strongest Lord, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, I think with the hostel, I would recommend for people that are thinking about buying it, just be careful. It's not the ultimate best hero, not because you can buy it. You know, if just think about this: if the hero comes in easily accessible, well, actually, can't say that to Lilia, but you know, actually, Lilia is so much better than Haas, and it's cheaper. But the general rule, though, like in life, if something comes easy, it's definitely not. You know, sometimes it's not good. Haas is one of them, except for Lilia.
Yeah, Lilia is just like in her own bubble, like, and like if people are wondering why like Lilia is, everyone should know by now, like that skill damage nuke is kind of nuts. It's the highest in the game, right? And when you awaken her and it does like double, you're doing double the AOE. That's what's filthy about her. Like that's kind of nasty. But again, as we kind of talk about, it's the spenders kind of thing, but she is so much more accessible compared to Host. Like so much. That's why she's higher rated. Like in everything.
Cheaper, But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for the feedback in here. You know, as we did our, each other's feedback and your tier list in here as well. Guys, let us know what you guys think about this video. Overall, should we do more? Should we do more collaboration? You know, what do you think about the the work that we do here? And don't forget to head on over to Mr. Sneaky's channel and support him over there as well. Send some love, subscribe, and watch his content as well. With that being said, I think that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Sneaky, you got anything to say?
No, man, it's been a pleasure, honestly. Thank you for inviting me on, and hopefully I'll check you guys out on my channel and we do all our Call of Dragons content.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next time.